and then just let go. You can hold onto the rope as you come down,
What?
if that makes you feel safer.
None of this makes me feel safe. My name is Ben. I'm a dietitian, athlete, and travel junkie. I've learned that health is about the journey, not the destination. I'm on a quest to understand that it's not a one-size-fits-all, and there's much more to learn on the road less traveled. Join me on the highway to health. Today we're in Burlington, Ontario, where we're going to learn more about rock climbing, one of the fastest growing sports in Canada. For me, my fear of heights has always kept me on the ground, so we're also going to learn more about what draws people to this extreme sport. So let's hope I can get over my fear of heights. What brought you to the world of rock climbing?
I used to be a competitive dancer on a world level, so I competed with Team Canada, and I injured myself when I was about 20. I tore my MCL, and I wanted to get back into athletics, but dance is very mental as well, so I wanted something that challenged both my body and my mind, and kind of came to rock climbing through fear as well as just wanting to move again.
Some of the people that I worked with liked rock climbing, and I had never done it before because I was a bit intimidated because I didn't have any of the gear and I didn't know any of the stuff. Didn't think I was strong enough. And they took me out one day and tied me to the rope, and it was actually pretty awesome.
It creates an element of problem solving that you have to find a way to get through a lot of things. So when you're climbing up a wall indoors or outside, you have to learn to read your environment. I'm a cancer survivor, a breast cancer survivor. This is just over 10 years now. And I had to go through chemotherapy, and I had a bilateral mastectomy, so I have new gummy bears. So I always make that joke because you can split them in half and they'll never leak.
I have MS, and I have primary progressive MS, and so I was recently told my entire spine is so many lesions that they have joined together and the entire thing glows. And it's miraculous that I can move, I'm told.
I did have to go through chemotherapy and another treatment, which lasted about a year and a half. So it was quite the challenge to go through that. And then I'd lost all my hair. Physically, everything was incredibly difficult. You know, the nausea, the vomiting, all that kind of stuff.
I used to do Ironmans, so I found out last year when I was pulled from a race because I couldn't sit up on my bike, I couldn't even unclip my legs.
I started dancing when I was 2.5, so I competed from then up until my 20s, and not being able to do that anymore was absolutely devastating, and I had no idea what I was going to do with myself.
What I did end up doing was I managed to do some climbing through the whole ordeal. I couldn't do much, but what I did do, it helped me stay mentally positive, and it also helped me stay physically sort of stronger, so I could kind of keep my muscles moving, which is essential when you're going through chemotherapy. The first thing I did was I looked down and I said, "You've picked the wrong bitch," because that's what like cancer was kind of like, okay, this is a big deal. I was 40 years old, and they were, you know, and it turned out that I had 5 tumors, and it was going to be a long battle. And so climbing allowed me to sort of meet that challenge, and that's what I had acquired through having such a fantastic sport.
I've started this whole movement with the family, where we find different ways to stick it to MS every day. And we do it through different avenues. So to us, health and fitness means we eat healthy, we grow a lot of our own vegetables, and we learn new things every day. So we're outside, we're hiking, we do different things, and we do different active things every day as well.
So I kind of found yoga a little bit, and then really came to rock climbing and realized that it was a completely new way to move my body and rehabilitation for my knee. And so I'm more of a rope climber, so that way it's safe, so you're not landing on your knee ever, but I was able to really find myself again and kind of move through my injury and sort of get back to my mojo, as it were.
I'm so impressed by your ability to be able to work out and maintain rock climbing during that whole ordeal. What was that like? I mean, I can't even imagine.
You become comfortable being uncomfortable. When you're climbing, you learn how to suffer, and you suffer well because you have that goal. And when you have goals, you'll accept that discomfort even more.
And I wanted to do something that terrified me, and that was one of my goals that summer was, you know what, if I can't dance anymore, I need to do something that gets me out of my comfort zone and kind of gets me back to being active, because it was such a big part of my life for so long that I wanted to find something new. And so I found rock climbing. I walked in, and as soon as I walked in, I knew that this was what I needed to do.
It's every time we go climbing, it's like a little bit of a sense of adventure. It can be a thrill. You know, you have the opportunity to push yourself, kind of, you know, challenge your limits a little bit if you want to. But like, as I said, it's something really relaxing that I like to do. So I actually feel pretty calm after coming down from a climb.
When you have people that have a mutual interest, there's this sense of camaraderie, but there's also a greater sense of caring, I would say, in some sports like climbing. One, because a lot of times, like, you are putting your life in other people's hands.
It helps with mobility. It also helps just different planes of motion as well, because with dance and rock climbing, you're not just stepping up. You're not just doing a squat. You're kind of really listening to your body and what it's telling you, and then figuring out new ways to move. And that way your brain is sending different signals to your muscles, and those synapses get to fire again.
I think a lot of us are intimidated, especially about going and doing something that is very new and also that we might not feel very good at. And I think one of the things to start with is to realize that everybody started somewhere, and everybody started not knowing how to tie a knot and not knowing even how to put the harness on. And you know, every person who goes out, they climb for half an hour and then their arms get sore and their hands get sore, and that's totally normal.
So I understand you're the youth champion right now in bouldering for all of Canada.
Yes, for youth.
And I understand you recently came back from a major competition as well.
Yep, the Youth World Championships in Moscow. That was also for bouldering for me.
Okay.
I did pretty well there. I ended up in 6th place. So.
6th overall in the world.
Yep.
So that's huge. I mean, like, I understand climbing as a sport in Canada not really that big as other kind of countries, right?
Nothing like hockey.
No, nothing like hockey. But I mean, what's the rate limiting factor? Why isn't it bigger?
I think it's new. It's pretty complex to understand to someone that's never heard of it. But once I think people really get exposed to it more, they'll find it interesting, and I think it'll gain even more traction.
All right, it's time for me to put up or shut up. So let's learn how to climb.
So I'm gonna have you climbing the 5-6, which is the green hold. So you can only touch the green holds. I promise.
Is that a hard rule?
Yes.
If I cheat, is there understanding for fear of death?
No. If you cheat, I'm gonna go, eh.
Okay.
I promise you won't die. All right, so when you start to climb, I'm so confident I'm gonna do this in flip-flops. When you start, you're gonna put your hands on the wall, and you're gonna start to climb. And then when you get to the top, you're gonna let go. And it's gonna gently place you down, like Peter Pan.
All right, so green only, right?
Green only, climb up to the top, and let go.
Is there a strategy to not dying?
Just don't let go.
Damn it.
So I will tell you, it's easier to move your feet first and then your hands second. Good. Good job.
Oh my God.
Just breathe. Awesome. And then once you get to that one with the green tape on it, that's the end of the climb. And then just let go. You can hold onto the rope as you come down,
What?
if that makes you feel safer.
None of this makes me feel safe.
That's fine. There's only one way down.
Okay. Oh, I hate that you're right.
Just close your eyes and pretend you're jumping in a pool. Good job. Should we high five about it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So just did my first climb of the day. That was pretty freaky. Not looking down helped, but the idea of trusting this machine to like actually let me down, it was pretty crazy. The harness sucks. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna get your help for a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm interested in trying out what you did because I did one of the wall climbs earlier, and as fun and as reassuring as that was, I didn't appreciate the pinch
Yeah.
when coming down off the wall. So what kind of tips can you give me? Like what would you say to me?
So you probably want to do the red one. There's 4 pieces of tape usually. That means you want a hand and a foot on each piece of tape.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how. So like hand on each of these, and then a foot and a foot.
Okay, so
That's how you start.
grab this,
Yeah.
and then just start going up.
Yeah, maybe sink down in your legs a little more and like don't bend your arms. Yeah, it'll just be a little more comfy, and then you can move your right hand. There you go.
To this one, and then just try to.
Yeah. Whatever feels natural, just. Yeah.
Because none of this feels natural, I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, so you're grabbing the small ones. You want to try and grab the bigger ones.
Oh my god.
You're almost there. 2 hands on the top one, yeah. And you're done.
That's
it. Yeah, that one's tricky. There's no trick to it. It just comes down to finger strength at some point. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me we got that in frame. I had a great time today. I really wasn't sure if I would. Fear often holds us back from trying new things, but once we take a chance and realize it's not so scary, we can find new ways to challenge ourselves. Just absolute blast today at Climbers Rock, and if you don't mind me, I'm just gonna get practicing a little bit more.